afternoon all. Today we are going to see about cerebrospinal fluid. Okay. So cerebrospinal fluid is a specialized fluid which is present on the brain. It is a fluid which covers the brain. Okay. So what is the main function of the cerebrospinal fluid is once it covers the brain, it protects the brain from the shock. This is the main function. It protects the brain from the shock. So where this cerebrospinal fluid is produced is, it is produced mainly from the brain region. In brain, it mainly produced from choroid glands. Choroid plexus of brain. So where it is located is, choroid plexus of the region which is present on the center of your brain. Your center of your brain is called as hypothalamus, which is surrounded by a ventricle which is called as choroid plexus. This have three parts actually. This one is called as lateral part of ventricle. This is called as ventricle actually. This is lateral part of ventricle. This is third part of ventricle. And this is fourth part of ventricle. So, your cerebrospinal fluid will start secreting from the lateral part of your ventricle. So, from here it goes to the third ventricle. From here it goes to fourth ventricle. And from fourth ventricle it goes to spinal cord. From spinal cord it takes an area to surround your total brain. From spinal cord, this fluid will start circulating throughout the brain. This is how the protection of your cerebrospinal fluid will be. So this area is called as lateral part of ventricle or choroid plexus, and the other part is called as third ventricle, fourth ventricle, and the spinal cord. From spinal cord, it will start circulating through the overall regions of the brain. So almost we have 150 ml of cerebrospinal fluid which covers the brain. Okay. So this cerebrospinal fluid will maintain from the shock, will maintain the brain to avoid the shock, and it will drain all the metabolites and waste from the brain. Okay. All the waste can be removed through the help of CSF, and it also maintains the cranial pressure. If anyone blows on your head, the layer of the brain will be affected. So this will not happen when your CSF is present. Okay? If CSF is not present, this cranium and the brain will start attaching. So when you have any blow on your head or if you fall down, automatically there will be a damage directly to the brain. To avoid that, this cerebrospinal fluid will absorb all the shock which comes to the brain. Okay? And from the lateral to the third ventricle, how this CSF is flowing. This is called as an opening, which is called as foramen magnum. This area is called as foramen magnum. And from third ventricle, it flows through fourth ventricle with the help of aqueduct of Sills. This area is called as aqueduct of Sills. And from third ventricle to spinal cord, it flows through two pathways. One is called as foramen of Lasker and foramen of magnum. Okay. So these are the areas where the flow of cerebrospinal fluid will be. So what is the pressure that is maintained in your intracranial is 5 to 15 mmHg. This is the pressure which is maintained by the cerebrospinal fluid of your brain. Okay, what is the weight of brain? Any ideas about weight of brain? So the normal weight of brain will be 1400 grams, which is kept alone. It is not kept alone on the air. But The cerebrospinal fluid is surrounding the brain and it makes the brain to float. Okay, while floating, the weight of the brain will be 50 grams. Your brain is floating inside the cerebrospinal fluid. So the weight of the brain is drastically reduced to 50 grams. This is what the idea of it. And if there is any problem in CSF fluid secretion, that leads to an increased intracranial pressure. The patients will have an intracranial pressure when there is a high amount of CSF is produced. And while there is any accident, automatically the CSF will be drained out. Okay? So the CSF is drained out, that leads to an direct cerebral damage. Okay? And how the CSF is circulating throughout this area of brain is through a space which is created on the surface of the brain, which is called as arachnoid villi. Arachnoid villi is a space